What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Dama Spiritual Guidance. It's your girl Dawn, and we got a message for you. So sorry about the light. Let me see. Hold on. Cause what we not gonna do is just be like this, right? We finna make some shit shake. Right? We finna make some shot. I'm gonna make some shot. Okay, I'm gonna make some shot. There we go. All right, let's see. Boom! What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Dama Spiritual Guidance. It's your girl Dawn, and we got a message for you. So let's get into it. All right, I'm kind of on a time crunch. So, but I wanted to get something out real quick. I gave these same updates to those on my other platform, Billy Ghost Prophetic Vessel. If you want to subscribe, the link is in the description box, okay? Those readings are timeless as well. Basically, I am doing a lot of kingdom business right now. So I may only get to post like once a week or something like that. So I just want to let you know because like I am a Capricorn. I am consistent, but also at the same time, I have a lot on my plate right now due to a lot of things that I'm overcoming at the same time with, warfare, with doing kingdom business and stuff like that, right? So just keeping you up to date because I know you're like, well, you usually post 2 videos like at least 4 or 5 days a week. I know, right? With seasons change, and so I have to make adjustments. And that's a message for some of you guys. Some of you guys, you may be used to doing something, um, but maybe God is saying you don't have to get rid of it completely or don't stop completely. You may have to just adjust how you implement it. You know, how long your videos are or something like that, right? So, you don't have to, so that's a message, don't stop, make adjustments. Okay. So as you see, the title of this reading is called God Said, Let My People Go. Okay. So I was getting downloads and messages basically. So I just finished doing a reading over on Billy Ghost Prophetic Vessel. Okay, there's a part 1 and a part 2, and it's basically called Access Denied. The negative energies didn't like me talking about that one, right? They cut off my first video, so I had to do a part 2 to that one. So make sure you catch, if you want to watch, make sure you watch part 1 and then watch part 2. Okay. You may have to wait a day depending upon, because this is a timeless reading too. Okay, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Put yourself on the side of the story as you see fit. It's just that I don't know. Warfare is playing with technology, right? I think we're out of Mercury retrograde or just about. So, however, because I am overcoming being heavily spiritually targeted because of what I know and the healing that I do, they like to fuck with me while I'm doing different readings. So for some of you guys, that's a word for you too. When you are trying to be in your purpose and your passion, you feel like that's when you get attacked the most, or you feel like, that's what's being under attack. And this is a part of that message, right? Of God said, let my people go, so that they can go and do and be freely doing kingdom business, right? Doing what I need my children to do and not this BS. You feel like, so y'all remember Moses, right? Like the story of Moses. Okay, and God, how God really worked with Moses and put in a lot of healing work, right? And Moses developed his prophetic gifts. God appeared to Moses on several different occasions in several different ways. God allowed Moses to use a divine staff that God used Moses as, a vessel to, do miracles through, and so on and so forth, right? That wasn't just by Moses' own doing, but the fact is that God sent Moses to tell Pharaoh, hey, God said, let his people go. Let them go. They not meant, I didn't create them to go into slavery. I didn't create them to do X, Y, and Z. Okay. Let them go. My people are tired. My babies, they finished. Okay. I want them gone. Now, God being God, because God knows all, right? God is all knowing, knows everything before it even happens. He already knew Pharaoh was going to say no. Told Moses to go anyway. Okay. Um, Pharaoh got upset that Moses even came to him and even asked him to do anything like that. Pharaoh didn't even believe in God, right? Pharaoh didn't even want to do it. And as punishment, he made the slaves do double as much. So they ended up getting mad at Moses. Why would you even go ask him that? Because now we got to work twice as hard, right? Now, God already knew. See, they didn't know, but God already knew. I hear the spaceships. God already knew that Pharaoh was going to do what he did. He told Moses to go back a second time and say this, right? And he came back and said it and also added additional information when it comes to, okay, look, this is what God is going to end up doing. He's going to send a plague. He's going to send a plague. Okay? So this is what this is here. This is a magician, the first card to come out, right? Major arcana at that. Just like Pharaoh was manipulating circumstances so that people couldn't be free, the Holy Spirit is talking to anybody that is in a position of power that is oppressing people and beings in the seen and unseen. God is saying, let my people go. In any way, shape, or form, if you are oppressing people or beings in any way, shape, or form, in any realm or any whatever, God is saying, let them go. Okay? That card didn't even want to come out. What is this? Five of Wands in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so you guys could be trying to manifest a love connection and money here. Okay, or this is what you guys have manifested to come in, peace. Okay, but somebody could have been trying to manipulate your peace, your money, and your love here. Look at that. Look at that. Seven of Swords in reverse. So some lies is about to come out about your money being tampered with, about your fruit, your harvest being tampered with, if it hasn't came out already. Okay. And guys, if you are feeling these vibes, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right. We got Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, so a lot of you guys, you have manifested, like, of course, as you are navigating this earthly realm, you're gonna have a few adversities, right? But you guys have manifested a life of peace for yourself, right? A life of like no abuse, a life of respect, having like people who genuinely appreciate you, think before they speak, right? That's what you guys have manifested for yourself. Okay. And some energy, now that they have been exposed for the fraud that they are, or for whoever it looks like they want to come back and spin the block, whether this is a family member, a friend of yours, whatever the case is, it looks like they want to come back around here because they see that you have manifested a pretty good life for yourself, all right? Or this is what you're in the midst of doing, depending upon what season you're in while watching this, okay? This could be past, present, or future information for you, okay? So just be mindful. It looks like your enemies they're observing and they're thinking, they're observing, they're thinking, they're trying to plot, or this is what they've been doing, okay? They're trying to plot how to attack you. They're acting all out of emotion here. Like they don't care about yours, but they're acting all out of emotion when it comes to how they feel here. Okay. Yeah, tell me a little bit more, because I was just going to say why, because they did not reap a harvest for themselves, right? So like going back to that the whole Moses thing, right? Them working on those pyramids, them carrying those buckets of water, those heavy ass buckets of water on their neck, them slaving in the hot scorching sun, and malnourished, and just terrible conditions for any person that's having a physical experience. Moses was benefiting from all of that, right? Like it's like a pyramid scheme in the sense of a negative one where nobody is benefiting except those at the top. And it was just him and his son. So God took his son, right? He allowed him to be, he allowed it, right? Because he couldn't have allowed it, or he could have told, he could have said, wake up, but no, right? Um, so what you guys don't know is God is saying, hey, let my people go in a sense of stop oppressing them. Stop using their gifts just to benefit you. I gave them their gifts. They got that from me. I am their father. I am their mother. I am speaking up for my child here. Okay, so this is God stepping in. Okay, so this is going back to Pharaoh. When God told Moses go lead his people, Pharaoh had what after that? Nothing. And mind you, God sent in what? Those bugs. He sent in illnesses. He sent in hella shit, hella plague like shit. When Pharaoh was refusing to do what God was asking him to do, and God gave him chances after chances, right? So because not only did he put others through wrongful suffering, and because he was not just disobedient, he was arrogant. Baby, God let that. Remember what happened? Moses parted the sea with this divine staff that God gave him, right? To use God's energy to part that sea. Moses and his squad, if you want to call them that, was charging after them to try to get them to stop, right? Because they was looking at it like, oh no, how are we gonna get shit done? How are we gonna make money? How are we gonna make ourselves and shit if we don't have the people that did the work to do it for us? If our slaves, if our capturers, if our, bottom of the barrel is gone, the people who we think don't have value is gone. What are we gonna do? Work your fucking self, nigga. Anyway, you saw what happened. God let them die. God let unallowed. I'm sorry, you too. God let the sea, right? And there's history channels that have seen that same sea. You got some wheels from carriages popping up, some horses' bones being found, right? History. Okay, this ain't nothing but it repeating itself in a way so she can get more properly hashed out. Listen, this is folks that's not taking God seriously. So people getting plagues out here. Okay, people getting plagues out here. And just to be clear, some people have caught the plague because they were around others who had the plague. And they didn't say shit. All right, so yes, if you're watching, I hate to tell you this. For some of you, you have a spiritual plague that is known as the rapture. Okay, that is the type of plague. And God can clear you. You have to get divine permission. The practitioner you go to remove it has to get divine clearance to clear you and put you through the process to do that. Okay? Everybody will not be saved. The hermit card in reverse. Yeah, these are energies. They didn't learn their lessons. They didn't take heed. Okay? I'm hearing and they had multiple lifetimes. God gave multiple lifetimes, multiple chances. They still kept going trying to do the same dark ass shit. Okay? And that's why they're trying to come back. Because they need help now. They see you standing. They see you have stability. You're able to stand on your own. So they're trying to spin the block. And God is like, that might be the day God say, hell no. Okay, I'm saying hell no, but I'm just saying that's how serious God is saying. You say here, you prayed for this. Okay, it's given. I used to pray for the drill. I used to pray for this shit. Right? Like I used to pray for times like this around like this. So I had to grind like that just to sound like this. All those times you had to do Uber Eats. All those times you had to grind and get in the studio. All those losses that you had to take before you got that win. Gotta say and remember who was shooting with you in the gym. And remember who wasn't. And make sure I say okay before you give to them. God don't want to reward bad behavior. God is a parent before anything. Whether God is your mother or your father to you, whatever. Okay? Yeah, this is a love situation, whether platonic, romantic, family, whatever work, that's gone wrong. They made bad choices that got them in this predicament of a famine, and they have to live this out. You went through shit that you didn't have to go through, and you had to wait for God to bring you out or do what you could while God worked on what you couldn't, what was out of your control. So they have to go, they have to pay the papa back, they have to go through the same thing. Let this energy or energies pay back what they need to so they can go ahead and learn these lessons. Okay? Yeah, moon card in reverse. Everything they did is being exposed. Okay, this whole operation is going down. Okay, and whether they was operating this in the spiritual or physical, they whole demonic system that was never made for light workers to thrive in is being ripped apart, torn down. God said, let my people go. And you didn't want to listen, or you listened, but you didn't want to believe. You just wanted to watch. So they watching and watching. They wanted to watch and see. And God said, okay, all right. I hope you enjoy the show. Last card here. Yep, not the ones reverse. So God finna clown on them like how they tried to clown on you, how they try to play on you. Okay, everything is coming. Everything, all the things all the underhanded, backhanded shit. Okay, I'm so sorry for some of you guys. They did cheat on you. They did cheat on you. For some of you guys, they did have a baby on you. For others of you guys, you had some accounts they stole some money from. All right. I'm hearing they forged your name, they forged your signature, whether in the spirit realm or in the physical realm, to steal from you. This is why certain opportunities didn't manifest for you, or it was being rerouted, or some shit, they rerouted your mail, whatever. Your numbers, your text messages, they did some shit that they wasn't supposed to do, pretending to be and do you and run some sort of operation. Okay. And then they wanted me to talk about this again. Spiritual sex trafficking. They were pimping your energy out to others. Okay. They were pimping your energy out to others and making a profit, and also taking advantage of you themselves as well. Whatever that means for you spiritually. Sex magic, coming to you astrally, spiritually, raping and molesting you clairsentiently. So then you're having a whole bunch of painful periods. You're having oh yeah. God wanted me to share this earlier because I'm a part of the collective, and God says I allowed you to experience this not because I wanted you to, but because also I need you to tell this to the people. The demon. So the demon, they're working together in partnership. Them, the parasites, and the other dark galactic beings in other realms. They've been inserting trying to insert these cords in me while I'm asleep, and it's not happening to me; it's happening to others. It's a system that they have to harness so they can get power and control. That's why we feel super tired. A part of the reason why when we wake up, it's not just because we didn't get enough sleep. This is why you feel like you sleep, but you wake up tired, right? When you do get your full 8 hours. It's a whole lot more other stuff, but that's just the gist of it, okay? And I'm an ordained minister, spiritual life coach, certified metaphysical practitioner, therapist, tarot reader, Akashic record reader, Reiki practitioner. If you would like any future services from me, feel free to email me. Okay, my email is in the description box. Okay, if you are wanting some journals, go ahead and feel free to purchase. They are on Amazon. All right. If you are looking for some decks to add to your collection, these decks were created by us. Okay. The link to purchase them, they are available for purchase, are in the description box of this video. Okay. All right. Yeah, this energy has not healed. Okay. So please be mindful if they try to tell you that. Yeah, the purge. So a lot of you guys are going to be going through a purge. You have been started the process already. It's been very painful. With this energy has been trying to manipulate your happiness and fulfillment because they are unhappy and unfulfilled. And because they are unable to attain something, they don't want you to attain, or they're trying to take it from you, or they took something and they can't pay it back. This was the same energy we was kind of getting on the Billy Goat's Prophetic Message channel. Again, if you want to subscribe, the link is in the description box. Okay. But yeah, all of that's coming out. All of the theft, the forgery, the pimping, this selling out to slavery. We talked about that over there too. How they, and for some of you guys, spiritually, they sold your soul fragments of slavery. If you want to know more about that, it's called access. Their access is denied. Watch part one and part two. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for what we have for you. Thank you all for your love and support here. To truly, truly appreciate it. And always remember, you make your own decisions. Peace out. Deuces. And oh, if you start going through your plague symptoms and you know you've been treating people wrong, this was your warning.